Hello， 大家好，我是麦芽奶爸。我今天呢，在这个敦化南路一段，就很靠近复兴的捷运站，就是我要来开箱我好朋友的新的酒吧，就是如果你们知道，就是 GWhisky。好，那我们进去吧 ，Let's go。Hi Geoff, how are you?
Hi Sandy, how we doing?
Very good, very good. Wow, I'm very surprised from a very famous YouTuber, and you've been also doing like the publishing stuff, and now you have your own bar. Tell us why? How come? Why? How did it come to this stage?
I mean, honestly, it was not something that I had planned. I've been in Taiwan for a long time now. I've been on YouTube for 4 or 5 years. I wouldn't call the channel big, but it's coming up. We're doing all right. Thank you. But I think it's just because I have a bit of a reputation when it comes to the alcohol industry and my understanding of whiskey. And I had some friends who were opening up a cigar bar, and their passion was cigars. So they love smoking cigars. They're not too much into drinking or alcohol or whiskey or anything like that. So they kind of invited me on board and said, all right, so would you like to be our bartender? Would you like to help, perhaps if there's whiskey that needs to be suggested to our clients, can you help us out with that? And I said, sure. So it kind of fell into my lap here. But we're pretty happy with how things turned out. We've got a great bar. We only opened 3 weeks ago now?
3 weeks.
So far, so good. And if you're in Taipei or if you're in Taiwan at all and you want to take a trip over to a nice little establishment with some great whiskey choices, come on over to the 18.
Okay, so what are the challenges you initially faced while opening this bar? Like, I'm pretty sure it's quite new, 3 weeks. So I'm pretty sure. What was the most memorable, hard thing you had to accomplish to get this off the ground?
So I will be honest. I have a little bit of experience bartending, but not a lot, especially when it comes to mixing cocktails. So what I had to do is, I have a friend who's a trained bartender, and he gave me a crash course. I also took some online courses, but I think I make some wonderful cocktails. Our customers seem to think so, but I won't lie, I'm quite new to it. I'm learning, and it's kind of a fun little adventure because I'm coming from the world of whiskey where it's pretty simple. You pour it, you drink it. Some customers want it on ice, but there's not that much. You don't have to put much together. So I do kind of enjoy the challenge of learning about all these different cocktails, the different flavors that you can put together. You can get a little bit of experimental with cocktails. So yeah, it's been fun, but it has been a challenge.
Okay, so what's your current specialty? Like, if I said I want something good to drink from GWhisky, what will it be?
Okay, so if you want something whiskey based, I have a great oolong whiskey sour. So what we do is we infuse our whiskey with oolong tea, and then we just make a straight up whiskey sour. I think the flavors are fantastic. I think the tea flavor really complements the whiskey notes in that. I make a hell of a daiquiri, and I actually have, it's not on the menu, but if you come in and you ask for the GWhisky specialty old fashioned, I've got something special for you.
Hey, how come you're not serving me though? You just serve me a neat pour.
I'm kidding. No, you'll get one in a minute. You'll get one in a minute. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So upstairs you said is a cigar lounge, right? Yeah. How does that integrate properly with the whiskey bar? I'm pretty sure not all the clients like the smoke. Do you smoke cigars? No.
No, I'm not a smoker. So it is a little bit ironic. So my partners, they're the cigar guys. They don't really drink. And I am the whiskey guy, and I don't really smoke.
No.
But I have smoked cigars before. I know the flavors, and maybe once in a blue moon for a special occasion, I might have a cigar, but it's really not my thing. But I do know the flavors, and based on that alone, I have a series of whiskeys that I might often suggest that complement a nice cigar. Typically, if you're having a cigar, you might want something that's a little bit more sherry forward. If you're into single malts, bourbons often work very nicely with cigars, and we even have a couple nice rums that I think work very well with cigars. So it integrates because our customers, even if my partners or I don't really love both, either we're drinkers or we're smokers, our customers do. They want both. So we've got we've got all sorts coming in. Some people just want a cocktail, but whatever you want with your cigar, we've got something for you. And one thing that I always want to make very clear to people, because there's plenty of people who just want a nice drink, a nice cocktail, a nice environment, but they don't want to smoke and they don't want to be somewhere that's smoky. So the way we've set it up is we have upstairs, which is strictly for cigar smoking. You can smoke a cigar outside as well. But the downstairs interior is just our cocktail lounge, our whiskey lounge. So you will not get too much of a smoky, it's not going to be smoky inside here. So there we go. We've got a little bit of space for everyone here.
That's great. That's great. So I normally thought like peaty whiskey would go well with cigars. Is that true, or what's your cigar friend's opinion? Have you tried giving them peaty whiskey and then you'll be like, oh, this is so amazing with this cigar, blah blah blah?
Sure, we've done that, and everyone's different, right? So some people will enjoy peaty whiskey with cigars. Typically, because tobacco can be quite drying in the mouth, people want something a little bit sweet to counterbalance it. So again, people tend to lean more into the sherry side of things or the bourbon side of things that are a little bit sweeter. But there's no rules to this. So if you're a fan of peaty whiskey and you think that works with your cigar and that's to your taste, by all means.
Well, that's amazing. Also, I think the location here is amazing. I mean, it's probably the heart of the party town. Like this is like most of the clubs are close by, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's been years since I went there, but this seems like the main party hub, I would say so, like nightlife.
Yeah, so I think if you're in Taipei, the big nightlife area is typically going to be Xinyi. But if it's not Xinyi, we're talking Dongchu, and our bar is right in the heart of Dongchu. There's a bunch of other bars, other clubs around here, so we definitely get plenty of walk-ins who are just, looking for a nice cocktail bar. If you're stood outside, you can look in through the window and okay, we've got a nice vibe in here. Yeah. We're, I'm running the bar. I'm a Western guy, so I like my Christmas stuff. We've got a beautiful tree in the back. We've got some Christmas decorations, some Christmas vibes in here. So, yeah, but we definitely have. It's a good spot. It's a good location, and there are certainly a lot of people who enjoy cocktails in this area.
So typically, your target market right now, or target audience, are what age group? I would say. I mean, or are they primarily smokers or very new to whiskey?
It's such a mix. Yes. I mean, initially I thought it would be a certain group of people. Typically when you think cocktails, you think it's a lot of maybe women, 30 to 40-year-old women who like to go out for cocktail bars. Oh, okay. The younger crowd is more party oriented. But no, it's been everyone. Cigar smokers, a lot of them are younger fellas, a lot of them are older fellas. But then you have, a couple ladies walking in the afternoon who just want a glass of wine and sit down. So we get all sorts in here. I struggle to say it's one specific type of clientele. Yeah.
So you guys also serve red wine, I would say.
So we're not a wine specialist, but we have our house red, we have our house white, we've got champagne for you. All the cocktails, all the whiskey. So if you enjoy a drink or two, we can hook you up.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I guess this space is really done pretty nice. Will you be probably renting this out for maybe host your own tasting event here or something? I would love to attend one of your tasting if it's in here.
We absolutely do. I really want to make this like a whiskey haven. We've had some whiskey industry people who are visiting Taiwan who have just kind of randomly walked in. Wow. Just maybe they've watched my channel or something before. And I want to host more events, and I would love to, right now it's a lot of cocktails, it's a lot of beers and wines, and certainly some whiskey, plenty of whiskey, but I would really like this. I want to play up the whiskey side of things because obviously that's my passion. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the whiskey world. So yeah, we will be hosting events. We've got an event coming up next month in December. Okay. Hope you can attend.
Okay.
But yes, you can look forward to regular whiskey tasting events here, probably on a monthly basis.
Okay, cool. So I know you've just been open for 3 weeks, but what are your best-selling whiskey right now that you feel like a lot of your customers are ordering?
So we've got a few whiskeys that sell pretty well here, but there is one that just flies off the shelves. Wow. People love it. They're pouring drams. They're buying bottles. We also sell full bottles here. Wow. And that one is it's this one right here. We got the Dalmore 12. Wow. Which granted, it's not typically us enthusiasts. We want something with perhaps a higher ABV, natural color, but I have to say, a lot of our customers here, they're not enthusiasts. They're not these whiskey nerds. We're very much in that scene, right? So we're in that space. But if you want something that's sort of like light, sherried, smooth, a lot of customers, for them, smooth is very important. So Dalmore 12 does really, really well here.
Yes. I would say so too. I mean, it's a great gateway whiskey. Once you get your newbie customers slightly drunk, then you introduce the higher ABV ones. Then they'll be like, "Oh, this is so good," right?
Well, there is that. But yeah, I mean, I think largely it's just they want something sort of smooth. And I'm not gonna lie, Dalmore,
Yeah.
famous for its beautiful bottle. So there's an aesthetic side to things, which segues us nicely into our next bottle.
one.
Speaking of beautiful bottles,
Ooh,
we've got a bourbon here that sells really well. This one's called Blanton's,
Blanton.
and it's actually pretty tough to find in the States. I've got a few bottles on hand. I don't know. Most bars in Taipei probably wouldn't have this on hand. So if you want to try this, come to the 18.
Blanton.
It is actually a beautiful bourbon. I think it's fantastic stuff. But certainly, almost as much as the whiskey sells itself, the bottle sells it. But it is a wonderful whiskey. So yeah, this one sells really, really well here.
Mhm.
And last, I think this will be less of a surprise, and this one is very much an enthusiast whiskey.
Yeah.
We've got the Glenallachie 12. I'm a big fan of the Glenallachie 12. I have a reputation of not loving things that are too sherry forward. This is a very sherry forward whiskey, but it is balanced, it is rich, it is fruity, and I enjoy it, and our customers absolutely enjoy it. We've sold multiple bottles of this as well, and the drams fly off the shelves. So this is a great one to try too. If you come by the 18, definitely recommend this one if you're into the sherry stuff.
Okay, so we have saw what are the best selling at the 18. How about you, Geoff? What's your personal favorite whiskeys that you always reach out for recently?
Hey, I thought you'd never ask. We'll start with one that has kind of gotten a little bit popular recently.
Yeah.
That's this one right here, Benromach 15. This one is a gorgeous whiskey. It's on the delicate side. Again, sherry forward, you get just the slightest little hint of smoke in there.
Yeah. I also noticed you've posted out that you were featured in Forbes magazine, right? And you did recommend the Benromach 15 as one of your, is it all-time favorite? I forget.
Well, so all-time favorites, because this whiskey sells for roughly, Yang Chen Kuai. It's about 2,000 NT. And it is not expensive. And it's just such a unique character. I'm a big fan of the Benromach character because of that gentle peat, this rich, lush sherry. And this one, the 15-year-old, I think it's just got that perfect age. I like the 12, I like the younger stuff, but the 15, it's so rounded. And I personally describe it as just being a very pretty whiskey. And it was just kind of the first thing that popped into my mind. So when Forbes was writing their article, they wanted something with a wine influence. They were recommending whiskeys with a wine influence. So a lot of the other guys are offering Sauternes cask, different alternatives, but I like my sherry, so I said, all right, a wine influence, let's go with a beautiful sherry whiskey, and this one just kind of popped into my mind. And yeah, so it's nice to be featured in Forbes. It's nice to be featured in Forbes. I'm glad they reached out, and I'm pretty happy with what I suggested. This is a beauty. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Thanks.
Next one.
Next. I, again, don't have a reputation of being a sherry lover, but I have been on a sherry kick recently.
Whoa, that's a good one.
So we've got a 17-year-old from Speyside. Now, a lot of the trick with IBs is they don't always tell you what distillery it is or where they're sourcing their whiskey from, but there are hints, and it's quite easy when you have something like this. You're going to have an M. This one says Speyside M, and that's your tip-off. So this is a 17-year-old cast strength Macallan. From Signatory Vintage. You've had this one before. We drank this one together. Zandy and I often, gather and have a few drinks together.
Yeah.
And what did you think of this one?
Oh, it's the best. Heavy cask influence, strong sherry flavors, cask strength, ticks all the boxes for me.
And the cask isn't so forward that you lose the classic Macallan DNA. It is in there, but it's definitely a sherry bomb. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous whiskey.
Okay, next one.
Next, we're going premium. I'm a fancy boy sometimes. I like my posh whiskeys, and this one I think is an absolute stunning whiskey.
This is the Macallan killer.
The Macallan killer.
Right?
Well, Tamdu is often described as that. Yeah. So a lot of people get a little bit frustrated with Macallan in the whiskey industry. It can be a little bit overpriced. You have the lower ABVs in a lot of the bottles. So a lot of people turn to Tamdu instead of Macallan. And rightly so. It's a beautiful whiskey. They use fantastic sherry casks. And the 18 here, I'll admit it's not cheap, but it is one of my favorite sherried 18-year-olds on the market. Rich, lush, balanced. Highly recommend this one.
Amazing. Great. Thanks for the recommendation.
Sure, man. Sure. Anytime.
Okay, for the last segment, GWhisky's channel is always famous for the mystery pour. So he did pour me some mystery pour, which I'm gonna try to guess maybe at least or lead me to the right.
It's a little bit tough, but I'm happy to give you some hints. But
Okay.
let's give it a nose
Cheers,
first.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Oh, nice Glencairns.
We got the branded glasses.
Yeah, branded glasses. This is more like bourbon. Distillate driven, I would suppose. So, are you sure you don't want to go back to the dark sherry side?
Actually, yeah, I should have poured something very sherry for Zandy. He likes his heavy sherry.
You know, not the boring like distillate driven. No. I'm kidding.
Boring.
It's pretty good, flowery.
So your hint for this one is that this is actually a Japanese single malt.
Japanese single malt. Slightly smoky, maybe Hakushu?
Correct.
Really?
Well done.
Nice.
This is the no age
Yes.
Hakushu.
Woo!
All right. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
That's when you know you got an expert.
Yeah. Cheers. All right, Geoff. Well, good luck, buddy.
Buddy,
Good luck with your
Thanks for having me.
with your bar.
Appreciate
Hopefully everything flies off the shelf even faster.
it. Hope
you
so.
know?
Hope so. Welcome to One and All.
Yeah,
Come visit me
welcome.
at the 18. You'll find me behind the bar.
Yep. 好吧，那这个就是这个礼拜的开箱，就是 The 18 Cigar 跟威士忌的酒吧。那如果你们需要什么招待或知识，就是可以多认识威士忌，可以来找 Geoff。那 Geoff 的要求呢，就是教他怎么讲国语。
对，我的中文还是很烂，
还是不错。
我需要练习，所以你可以来帮我练习，好不好？
好 ，OK， 那 All right,
All right.
Goodbye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye.